And the free throw, no good.
You know, between his skills, his motor, and his physical ability, Walker came into the league more ready for the NBA than most first-year guys.
He had the right idea, just couldn't come up with the swipe.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
For three, DiVincenzo. And we've reached the end of the third. The Pacers out in front, up 4. And time to step away quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. We've reached the fourth quarter in what has been a very competitive game. Should be an exciting finish. Indiana leading by 4. Toppin outside. Outside for McConnell. Lets it go from deep. Gets the three to fall. And the Pacers lead by 7.
The defense takes a chance, leaves him open at the arc, and he capitalizes.
Pass to Edwards. Back to Randall. Outside, DiVincenzo. 5 on the clock. Now here's McDaniels. Fires for 3. He can't hit that time.
Kevin, you can understand the shot selection. He wanted to go back at him and just came up short on the triple.
You can really feel the momentum swinging in their direction.
And, you know, they need to stay aggressive here. Build the lead up while they've got the chance. Don't waste this opportunity.
Outside Edwards. To the middle. Here's Gobert. Oh, and Gobert powers it home.
Throwing it down. Gobert using all of his height there.
McConnell outside. Driving to the basket. Doesn't go for him. Timberwolves trail by 7. The whistle blows. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. That's foul number 2 for him.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
Heads up action there. Reading the play and then beating him to the spot. Well done.
Indiana leading by 7. McConnell outside. Three-pointer Mathurin connects from downtown. Mathurin's got his first 3 points of the game.
He's got that guard quickness. Mathurin showing off his catch-and-shoot ability.
Toppin right side. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Defensive foul.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Pacers.
You have to be a fan of the energy they've played with on the defensive end. Active hands and feet, and it's come up big a few times for them.
Picked by Gobert. Here's Edwards. Out to DiVincenzo. Picked by Gobert. Back to Edwards. Takes the 3. DiVincenzo on the wing. Outside McDaniels. Inside. Here's Gobert. And slammed it home. And a foul. A chance at another point at the line. And they'll give that one to Miles Turner.
You know, he gets there so often. Gobert would like to make these at a higher clip.
Grant, wouldn't be a bad idea here to slow it down.
Yeah, the coach is definitely looking for patience and execution.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
I understand why he took the shot. They need the points, but that's just not a good look.
Walker for 3. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Siakam. Walker's got 5 points now this quarter. Outside Edwards. Looking to get it going with the drive. And he takes it up and lays it in.
On the front foot, attacking the defense. This is Anthony Edwards at his best.
Three-pointer, Halliburton. Another three for Indiana.
And their strategy is obvious. Manufacture looks from outside the arc.
You know, that's exactly their plan here in the fourth. Work to find space behind the arc and then bury some threes.
Edwards for three. Again, the miss by Edwards. Here's Indiana. They're on a 17-7 run. Halliburton attacks. And he drains it, making him 7 for 15 for the day.
And this one hasn't been in doubt for a bit now. They came out on a mission, and you can bag up this win for the Pacers.
Man, the bench brought lots of energy tonight.
I'll tell you, when your reserves can score it like that, it puts your team in a great position to win.
And what a huge performance it was for Tyrese Halliburton.
A quality offensive outing. When you get it going like he did, I'll tell you, it's one of the best feelings in basketball.
46 seconds left in the final quarter. And stolen by Edwards. It's a 3-on-3 fast break. And a strong finish with two hands.
Gobert can look over the top of just about any defense right there. Delivers a nice pass.
And here's Siakam for three. And it's Gobert with a rebound. And it's Edwards with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They trail by 14. Randall can't hit. This is why you want ball movement and player movement.
And that's made it hard for the defense to key in on any one individual.
Launches it from deep. Minnesota with a rebound. It's stolen by Halliburton. Misses there. And so it's the Pacers taking care of business in this one. This one was a fun one to watch.
It's getting noisy here in Boston. We're at the home of the Celtics. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony. This is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. And he's going to get whistled. Greg, a marquee matchup here tonight. Two of the NBA's best teams with some of the best players.
And it's bound to be a fun one, right? There is elite talent on the floor. In this kind of a powerhouse matchup, both teams are looking to make a statement.
Knocked loose and stolen by Williams. And it's out of bounds. The Thunder able to retain possession. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. At the top of the key, Holmgren. Driving the lane. And the dunk by Holmgren.
And those long strides allow Holmgren to get to the rim with only one or two dribbles.
Here's Tatum. Shot clock at 5. Outside, Porzingis. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Here's Holmgren. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Holmgren's got his second basket. And so Holiday will bring it up for Boston. 4-point game. Well, DB, it didn't take long, did it, for Holmgren to live up to his draft status?
Holmgren, Kevin, was an immediate impact player on both ends of the floor. At his size, to be able to shoot with range and the rim protection he provides, it was absolutely worth the wait for his team. This young man has got a toughness that has shocked even me.
Chalk up 2 there.
Boy, what a display of toughness from Kristaps Porzingis. He's a rock down low.
Pass to Holmgren. Caruso with the ball. Outside, Dort. The kick out to Williams. Connects from 3-point range.
I like that. Lou Dort knows I don't have an opportunity, but I can put a pass on time and on target and get my teammate involved. Nicely done.
Brown outside. Pass to Porzingis. Shoots over Holmgren. Outside, Tatum. The screen from Brown. Another shot. Boston needs to get off a shot. And the rejection by Holmgren. And it's out of bounds, and last touch by Holmgren. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. And the shot goes in from Kristaps Porzingis. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. Caruso looking for an opening. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. 5 to shoot. Now here's Holmgren from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
and I love the competitive edge Holmgren plays with, coming right back with his own triple.
Doris, do you think the Oklahoma City Thunder has the best young core in the NBA?
Well, they are absolutely loaded with talent, Kevin. Not only that, they fit together. Now they've got a perennial MVP because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has inserted himself into the best player in the game conversation, and a rising star in Chet Holmgren. Look out.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, the Thunder take it one step at a time. All-star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says, I think we all stay in the moment, and that's why we've been able to get better. Attack the day, the program in front of us. We all have the right intentions and want to win at the end of the day. Kevin?
A bad attitude thrown by leaps and bounds. Thank you, David.
Well, you see the effectiveness of Jason Tatum in close. Don't sleep on both his strength and his length.
Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Now guarded by Porzingis. Now Gilgeous-Alexander. Still scoreless. Here's Holmgren. The shot off that time. Nice D from Porzingis. The kick out to Brown. Outside Tatum. Porzingis gets a two. A rebound by Gilgeous-Alexander. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Holmgren. Yes, that goes in. Holmgren's got 11.
And looking to get stronger, Holmgren fights through the bump. Tons of time for him to grow into that frame.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
Holiday with it. Driving inside. There's Brown with the three. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
Big time shot to beat the buzzer there. My goodness.
16.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Thunder.
Right off the bat, they're going after the ball, looking to jump into the passing lanes and create some steals in transition.
Here's White. Finish off the break.
That is impressive stuff from Derek White. Defender in his grill, no problem.
You know, many see Brown as a scorer, but Doris, he's put more of an emphasis on his defense in recent seasons.
You're exactly right, Kevin. He's taken tremendous pride in asking his coaches to put him on the best offensive player. When he's the point of attack defensively, look out. He can give a lot of headaches to ball handlers.
To the middle. Here's Brown. Uses the glass to finish the layup. He's got 5.
Yeah, Brown makes himself the best option in the pick and roll there. That's beautifully done.
Outside Williams. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. No scoring in this one. Here's Holmgren. Nice D from Porzingis.
Well, we didn't see the same kind of control we're used to seeing from him. This guy is usually a tremendous finisher.
The kick out to Tatum. Pass to Porzingis. Just 5 to shoot. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Shot clock at 2. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy.
Give it up for Celtics Entertainment.
Greg, every year, injuries are a huge factor in shaping the title race. And I'm guessing that teams should probably put more of a premium on durability. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I think all GMs take that into account. A team wants to be confident it'll have a stable roster over the course of a long season.
And there's the call on Chet Holmgren. That's his first foul.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Boston trailing. Holiday with it. Williams picks him up. Here's Brown. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. Pass to Dort. Williams with a clean look. Nailed from three-point land.
3 points.
Williams has got 6.
This guy is a pick-your-poison kind of player. Very hard defensively to cover all your bases with him.
Now Tatum. Back to Holiday. Shot clock at 6. Out to the right wing. Fires for 3. Boston again missing. Oklahoma City leading by 5. Doors, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes, they led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
Already set the Summer League record for blocks in his first game. Holmgren, one of the best young shot blockers in the league.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
First team foul.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Porzingis. Pass to Brown. Holmgren with the steal.
And that's a great play on defense here. Forced him to rethink the shot and then able to come up with the steal. Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
Here's Tatum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Porzingis. Good D by Holmgren. The Thunder leading by 7. Williams for 3. It's good from long range. Williams has got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Thunder.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the dunk by Gilgeous-Alexander.
Assisted.
I love when Shea does not just settle for a layup. Finish with authority. What a pretty dunk.
And the rejection by Holmgren. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Rebounded by the Celtics. Tatum deciding where to go with it. Screen by Porzingis. To the paint. And the dunk by Porzingis.
Oh, what a pretty pass. Throw to the open spot. Lead your teammate perfectly.
And Mark Daigneault calls timeout. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust.
Once again, Celtics faithful, your Celtics Entertainment.
Now here's Holmgren from the arc. And so it's Oklahoma City With a 10-point lead, some breathing room heading into the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we'll be back with you shortly. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Oklahoma City. Porzingis with the rebound. Celtics trail by 10. Holmgren with the steal. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one is on Holiday.
And you know teams are going to be physical with Holmgren, but he's aggressive, and boy, he plays with passion.
And Chet Holmgren's been a great player from day one, Doris. What do you like most about his game?
I don't know which aspect to pick. This guy is a great rim protector. He can shoot the basketball from three-point territory and with great range from 3. But maybe my favorite aspect is the competitive toughness he brings on a nightly basis.
Lock at 6. Here's Tatum. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
A wide open look here for Caruso. Good on the triple. Caruso's got the lead up to 12 now for Oklahoma City. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Oh, good on the triple. Williams with the ball. And Holiday picks him up defensively. And Gilgeous-Alexander. Here we go. And here is Holmgren. He's got 12. Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. Three-pointers off the mark. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Nice ball movement by Boston. The shot by Holiday, no good. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, well, like a lockdown corner in football, teams just try to keep the ball away from Jrue Holiday. He says, I feel like they're not afraid of me, but like, okay, get him off the ball. To me, that's respect. I don't need other people telling me how good I am. You can see it by their actions. Kevin?
So true. He can't be intimidating, David, and we thank you for that report. Celtics trail by 12. Outside Tatum. Outside Holiday. Over in the corner, Porzingis. Shoots over Holmgren. Boston again missing.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
Back to Caruso. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. And the layup's good off the glass. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 7.
Well, that's SGA in a nutshell right there. Quickness, length, guile, finishing on the interior.
Back to Holiday. Screened by Porzingis.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
Ball's knocked loose. Holiday with the 3. The shot, no good. Good D by Gilgeous-Alexander. And the way the Celtics can attack teams, Doris, with their 5-out set, it's impossible to fully defend it.
Kevin, there is so much space on the floor because they have shooters at every single position and guys who balance that shooting with an ability to get off the dribble drive. This is as good an offense as we've seen.
And they call an illegal screen here.
When a pick like that is questionable, it creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. Brown right side. Outside Holiday. And stolen by Williams. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And Gilgeous-Alexander throws it down.
The assist.
That is SGA at his best, running the floor, playing with pace.
Picked by Horford. Tipped away. It's stolen by Gilgeous-Alexander. And Gilgeous-Alexander throws it down. We are live in Boston, Massachusetts, the gem of New England, as the Celtics are about to go into this interconference contest right here. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. Also joining us from the sidelines, David Aldridge. And Mark Daigneault calls timeout here. He wants to talk to his guys. Matchup we have here in the front court break.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
It's Gilgeous-Alexander with the drive. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
Gilgeous-Alexander just taking the initiative, driving to the cup with purpose.
Outside Tatum. Takes the three. The Thunder pull it in. Here's Williams. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Boy, wide open teammate. Really pretty pass by Lou Dort.
Here's Tatum. He'll bring it up for Boston. 4-point game. Doris, some great shooters on this Boston team, but at times, don't you think they settle from the perimeter?
Well, Kevin, obviously, this is a coaching staff that puts a heavy emphasis on three-point shooting. They led the league in makes. They led the league in attempts. But obviously, your two best players, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with their size and athleticism and driving ability, you want to try to find the right balance. They do a great job of that.
Now White, after the missed three from Chet Holmgren. Outside Tatum. Back to Porzingis. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist.
Well, we know that Kristaps Porzingis can shoot the rock. He's a sweet shooting big, but you'd love to see him use his size in the paint.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And the foul on Drew Holiday. That is his first foul of the game. first quarter, about a minute and a half in. Pass to Dort. Takes a three.
Boy, as good as he is on the offensive end, Jason Tatum showing he can be a factor defensively.
Here's Porzingis. And the rejection by Holmgren. Left side, Gilgeous-Alexander. And stolen by Tatum. It's White on the wing. Here's the three. The shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
You know, the ability for Jason Tatum to be ready on the catch. Those opportunities make the game a little bit easier.
And here's Gilgeous-Alexander outside. And the dunk by Holmgren.
That is a product of pure effort, guys.
I agree, and that's nothing new coming from him, GA. He loves going to work on the rebounding, going to work on the board.
What about the decisive finish? Great timing, tremendous force.
It's safe to say Jason Tatum is a bona fide superstar.
He certainly is, Kevin, and really been a big-time star from the time he was 23 years old. Lots of pressure on this young player, but Jason's not only embraced it, he's thrived under it.
And stolen by Williams. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It goes on Jason Tatum.
Well, what a pump fake by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets the defender committed, and he'll go to the foul line.
Wow. What, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Pass to Brown. Back to Tatum. The kick out to Brown. Oh, good on the triple. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the Thunder. Williams inside. Rebound, Boston.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Back to Tatum. Holiday looking over the floor. That's to Porzingis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A floater. And the rejection by Holmgren.
Already set the Summer League record for blocks in his first game. Holmgren, one of the best young shot blockers in the league. And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
And here is Brown. After the three-pointer from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
Yeah, the anticipation was there. The hustle was there. Very close to picking that one.
Pass to Tatum. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that.
Now, here's Holmgren. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And you know teams are going to be physical with Holmgren, but he's aggressive, and boy, he plays with passion.
Holmgren hits them both. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Holiday. To the paint. Here's Tatum. He gets it in there. Tatum's got 9.
Well, the increasing strength of Jason Tatum is making it harder to knock him off his path. That is nice.
Williams for 3. And no good on the last second attempt this time. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guys, has been on display for the Thunder.
The Thunder. 14.
And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Well, this is the edge that great rim protection can give you.
Total intimidation that first period. That is what has helped power them to this early lead.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, well, like a lockdown corner in football, teams just try to keep the ball away from Jrue Holiday. He says, I feel like they're not afraid of me, but like, okay, get him off the ball. To me, that's respect. I don't need other people telling me how good I am. You can see it by their actions. Kevin?
So true. He can't be intimidating, David, and we thank you for that report. Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got 8.
And you could see he knew exactly where that long rebound was coming off, able to get there quickly and snatch it up.
It seems every season, Doris, we have players speak out on being unhappy with their role.
Well, consider, Kevin, that if you're one player on a roster in the NBA, how coveted each of those spots are, but also how competitive they are. You don't get there without that nature, which means you want to play.
Tatum taking it in. It's Chet Holmgren with the rebound.
Oh, no excuse for a guy of his caliber. You've got to finish that slam. Got to be a little embarrassed by that one.
First team foul.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Holmgren. Launches it. A second chance effort. And Derek White picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Second team foul.
Now Holmgren. Shot clock at 5. There's the pick. Buried from 15 feet out. Holmgren's got the lead up to 5 now for the Thunder.
And guys, you can't allow Holmgren to gain confidence from the mid-range. He'll burn you when you give him those looks.
Back to Porzingis. Thunder with the rebound. Well, DB, it didn't take long, did it, for Holmgren to live up to his draft status?
Holmgren, Kevin, was an immediate impact player on both ends of the floor. At his size, to be able to shoot with range and the rim protection he provides, it was absolutely worth the wait for his team. This young man has got a toughness that has shocked even me. Well, in the modern NBA, a big that can shoot with range, so important. Kristaps Porzingis from 3.
Out to the right wing. Holmgren can't hit. Celtics trail by 4. Over in the corner, White. Brown outside. From past the arc. And again, Boston with the triple.
Now, Jaylen Brown gets his feet set in the catch and shoot and just drills it.
Over in the corner, Caruso. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
You're fighting to keep the possession alive, something this guy does so well.
And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust. And Boston has possession. They trail by 3. Outside, Porzingis. Tipped away. It's stolen by Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Caruso. And that one is stuffed right through.
We are talking about a 6'6" point guard. Shea has got a great view of the floor. What an easy pass.
Back to Brown. Out to White. And Derek White picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
The Thunder leading by 5. Pass to Williams. To the inside. Here's Caruso. Now Holmgren. Porzingis with the block.
7'6" wingspan, sending it back. Kristaps Porzingis with the rejection.
White with it. Got a piece of it. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Drills the three-pointer. Caruso's got 5.
Not everyone has the green light to take that three in transition, but he does, especially with the defense already set up protecting the paint.
Stolen by Holiday. Good on the triple. Holiday's got his second basket of the game.
And with a good array of moves, Holiday can pull up for jumpers because he keeps defenders guessing.
Pass to Caruso. Poke loose. Holmgren in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. Here's White. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Thunder out in front, up by 5. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Now, here's Tatum. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Leading by 5. Pass to Holmgren. Now Caruso. Picked by Williams. And he slams it one-handed.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
And when Porzingis goes to work inside, Doris, there are not a lot of answers for his size.
We know, Kevin, obviously, that post-ups become less and less a part of the game, but still an important one opportunistically. And you talk about efficiency in the post, that is Kristaps Porzingis. But not only that, the mid-range game is there, the three-point game is there, and the defense is there.
The first one falls. Doris, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has a chance to go down as one of the greatest Canadian basketball players ever.
Kevin, that is a bold statement when you consider that the great Steve Nash, two-time MVP and one of the best passers in the history of the game, is of Canadian descent. But this guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is putting together quite the resume. Let's just hope he can sustain that stardom.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Jason Tatum picking up that last basket. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got 12. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5 for 8 clip.
That's just concentration from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This guy's accustomed to big-time defense.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Thunder take it one step at a time. All-star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander says, I think we all stay in the moment, and that's why we've been able to get better. Attack the day, the program in front of us. We all have the right intentions and want to win at the end of the day. Kevin?
That attitude growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you, David. Here's Porzingis. And the rejection by Holmgren. Nobody near Williams. The shot's good. Gilgeous-Alexander making the play.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And here is Gilgeous-Alexander following Jaylen Brown's three. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Picked up by Brown. Holmgren wide open. Off target with his three. Brown outside. Outside, Porzingis. 6 to shoot. The Celtics need to get a shot off. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. Well, the ascension of Jalen Williams, Doris, has been swift and very fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely, Kevin. He became very quickly in his second season a number 2 option and, frankly, borderline 1A option. And it's not just his offensive game, Kevin. This guy has become a stout defender. He's got the perfect NBA frame, and he fits in personality-wise.
Here's Holmgren. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Holmgren's got 13.
And once Holmgren gets the ball in there, he can finish in so many ways.
And it's White missing.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
That's tipped. On the wing, Gilgeous-Alexander. 14 points for him. Outside Williams. Over Holiday. And they recover it. Back to Caruso. Pass to Holmgren. Just 5 on the clock. Second chance shot. And it's White with the rebound.
Listen, if you're that wide open, you have to take the shot, even if it's not your favorite.
And there's the call on Lou Dort. That'll be his second foul of the game.
First team foul.
Celtics making a switch here. And we've got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. Got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants to check in with his team and regroup.
Give it up for Celtics Entertainment.
Got a timeout from Joe Mazzulla. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. Porzingis high post. He's got 5. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Guys, how about that body control from Porzingis? You think it's easy as 7'3" to gut your way through that kind of contact? That's nice.
The Thunder leading by 8. Down low. Here's Hartenstein. And the dunk by Hartenstein.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
You're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. Here's Wallace. Here's Hartenstein. Over Porzingis. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Porzingis. The Thunder have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
And one of the highlights last year for this group was the fact that they were so efficient from the charity stripe. That's a huge factor.
There's Brown with the 3. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Oklahoma City holding on to an 11-point.
The Thunder, 42.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Oklahoma City leading by 11. Inside. Here's Hartenstein. Porzingis with the rebound. Pass to Holiday. Tatum wide open. He fires one. A three-pointer, no good. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for Oklahoma City. And he converts the layup. Gilgeous-Alexander's got the lead up to 13 now for the Thunder.
And this is SGA's role. He's out here to score and score often.
And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Now here's Porzingis. And Tatum out top the key. Clock at 6. Pass to Brown. Shoots over Caruso. And it's Brown missing.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Pulls from the top of the key. He can't get it to go. The wide open look here for Holiday. Boston again missing. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Greg, seems like we always talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive side. But when it comes to deflections and steals, his defense, he's one of the best.
Yeah, his two-way ability is sometimes overlooked in the mainstream media. But people in the know how good of a defender he is.
And the way the Celtics can attack teams' doors with their 5-out set, it's impossible to fully defend it.
Kevin, there is so much space on the floor because they have shooters at every single position and guys who balance that shooting with an ability to get off the dribble drive. This is as good an offense as we've seen.
Stolen by Tatum. That shot off. The Thunder leading by 12. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Left side, Williams. Here's Holmgren. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. Good, great play by Williams to set it up. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 7 points for the quarter. Pass to Porzingis. Back to Tatum. Screen by Porzingis. The kick out to Brown. The tray. Porzingis can't hit.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And here is Dort. Porzingis with the block. One-on-one here. Tatum with it. He's picked up by Holmgren. Here's Porzingis. White, wide open. He fires. Sinks the three-pointer.
He's not always assertive on the catch, but Derek White rise and fire from three-point, and it is on target.
To the middle. Outside for Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Holmgren. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Porzingis. Bucket is good.
Boy, what you really like about Porzingis going end-to-end, he does it under control, right? This guy is 7 feet and masterful in space.
Celtics trail by 10. White, a good look. And it's good off the back of the rim and in.
This guy, a tough cover for any defender. Creative and assertive scoring the ball.
Outside Williams. Here's the screen. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Inside. Oklahoma City needs to get off a shot. It's good from long range. And the Thunder lead by 11.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Thunder.
The key here, guys, was second chance points.
And they pounded the offensive glass and won the scrambles for loose balls, giving them plenty of added opportunity.
And, you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
Now, here's Tatum. After the miss from Chet Holmgren. Back to Tatum. Shoots the three. And Holmgren pulls it down. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. And Holiday picks him up defensively. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. That shot missing. Brown outside. And the rejection by Holmgren. And it's out of bounds and last touch by Holmgren. Caruso with the steal. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke.
This is Brian Anderson, Stan Van Gundy, and Grant Hill here with me. And in a few moments, we'll hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce. Wembanyama with it. Durant covering. Wembanyama scanning the floor. Yep, that one goes. Well, Grant, this is not your average regular season game. These teams are fierce rivals.
Oh, yes, they are, B.A. I love playing in these type of games. I mean, the fans are extra loud. The players are fired up. But this will be fun.
Well, the defender's stopping the developing fast break. That looks like a transition take foul. Grant, when you talk about De'Aaron Fox, what an exciting player.
That he is. And just
The free throw no good for Wembanyama.
Honestly, we have never seen someone like Victor Wembanyama, a skilled 7.5-footer. I mean, the way he moves, it's unreal.
Now here's Barnes. And that's out of bounds. Last touch by Bull. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. We talked about how he plans to contain Devin Booker, and Coach said first, we've got to be on him at all times, and second, we can't let him get favorable matchups. He needs our best defenders on him. Trying to work over screens and stay on top of Booker, that's the name of the game here, guys.
All right, appreciate it, Allie.
Yeah, the extra hustle paying off there for KD. That's an easy board with his length.
A three from Barnes. Again, the miss by the Spurs. We've played just over a minute here in the first. Outside O'Neal. On the wing, Durant. Clock at 6. The Suns need to get off a shot. Oh, no good. And Wembanyama has the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. Vassell, he's open. The basket's good. Off the assist from Fox.
You know, he's so smooth on his catch-and-shoot jump shots, and Vassell has a natural rhythm on him, too.
Stan, one of the most impressive streaks in sports history. The San Antonio Spurs, one of the smallest markets in the NBA, making 22 consecutive playoffs.
Yeah, and Brian, there's nothing that I respect more than consistent success year after year. I think it's harder than having that one great year. What San Antonio did in those years is incredible.
And they had a great sideline reporter out here, too.
Good-looking guy.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And that's what they want to do. Get him open looks early.
Outside O'Neal. Pass to Bull. Another three for Phoenix.
Well, so many bigs excel from three-point range these days, and he's right up there with the best of them.
Left side, Wembanyama. Shoots over Durant. And it's Phoenix with a rebound.
Well, I'm surprised that didn't fall for him. We know that's a shot he can hit, and there wasn't much resistance either.
Now here's Bull. 6 points for him. And the ball out of play. The Spurs will have it.
That's a careless pass and a wasted possession. That's just unnecessary.
1:51 left now in the first quarter. It's Vassell with the drive. Pass to Castle. Outside for Wembanyama. Offline with a three.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
A nice shot by Booker.
There's something that is great about Booker. He doesn't take all outside shots. I mean, Devin can score it inside, too.
Well, Grant, if you talk about consistent top-level scores, Devin Booker is near the top of that list.
Yeah, and going back to the 17-18 season, Devin has averaged at least 25 points every year. He can create his own shot and finish. It's hard finding guys who can do both. Yeah, terrific follow-through from Wembanyama, proving he has a good head on his shoulders. You don't want to stop the clock right there. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking.
Now here's Durant. Pass to O'Neal. Back to Durant. .46 seconds left in the first quarter here. That one drops for him.
Just an aggressive inside play from Durant, pushing past the contact to get a shot.
And it's Fox with the jam.
And he's playing the game with a certain flair right now.
Oh, he caps off the move with a little hang time on the rim. And he'll be shooting his first free throw. Grant, they could attempt a 2 for 1 here.
They could. The key here is a good look. Screen by Durant.
Back to Booker. Pass to Bol. And finished off by Bol.
Nice basic one-hander there.
Hey, I think he got some extra bounce off the ground on that one. And Fox powers it home.
Lift off there for Fox, showing how high up he can get.
To the inside. Here's Bol. That one's good. Give the assist to Booker. Bol's got 10 points in the game.
Getting enough shots in close to play inside out.
Outside Barnes. From deep, Wembanyama. And so, lots of scoring in a competitive first quarter. San Antonio on top.
The Suns, 60.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. All right, guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
Oh, what I love was that first quarter was all about leaking out and capitalizing in transition.
Yeah, they gave the other team no time to breathe. Every time they got the ball, they were off to the races. And you see how effective this aggressive mindset can be.
You gotta dance like everyone's watching.
Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. Devin Vassell is progressing offensively. He said, I feel like the game has slowed down, just making the right reads. I know I can get to my spots. I just want to show that I'm an efficient scorer and a willing passer. I'm trying to be the best player that I can be.
Yeah, love that work ethic, Allie. Thanks. When you look at the career of Kevin Durant, he's had an amazing list of teammates, Grant.
Yeah, that's true, B.A. And it started with Westbrook and Harden. Then he had Steph, Clay, and Dre, Kyrie, and then Booker and Beal. That is quite the list.
Wemby. Ooh, the special sauce from Wembanyama.
He has such an elusive cover. The Frenchman Wembanyama is especially hard to stop in transition.
Oh, Fox with a steal. To the paint. Right side, Wembanyama.
First personal foul. First team foul.
And about a minute gone in the second quarter. That's short off the rim. The Suns trailing. Outside Booker. Pass to Bol. No one near him. That one's good. Give the assist to Booker. Bol's got 12 points in the game. Outside Barnes. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Wembanyama. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws. It goes on Kevin Durant.
Yeah, such a difficult frame to guard. Wembanyama draws the foul easily.
And it's Phoenix's ball. Trailing by 2. Outside Bol. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets a 3-second call.
Sun substitution. Number 0.
Closing in on 2 minutes played here in the second. Outside Wembanyama.
And that puts them just 1 foul from the bonus.
Second personal foul. Third team foul.
Here's Wembanyama. Give him 8 points now. Here's the pick.
Suns foul. Zone. Third personal foul. 14 foul.
Here's Wembanyama. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Wembanyama double team. Three-pointer. Fox. That smooth lefty shot.
I like it. Setting up Fox that time, getting him something in rhythm.
Boy, that foul looked intentional. Not exactly what you'd expect here.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't make sense given the situation.
And Greg Popovich has called timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Booker surveying the floor. Pass to Durant. The three ball. Phoenix no good that time either.
And the defense got away with one there. I mean, that's a shot he typically makes.
Fox goes in. Outside Wembanyama. Six on the shot clock. Here's Castle. Fires for three. And it's Devin Booker with a rebound. You know, Grant, you talk to scouts about Stephon Castle. They just feel like this guy's a winner.
Well, certainly we saw that at Connecticut. Now, as a freshman, he was a key piece in their title run. He actually turned up his game in the tournament, and that's rare for any freshman.
San Antonio shooting their 5th and 6th free throw attempts tonight. Free throw good, Wembanyama. And growing up in California, Stan, when did you first fall in love with the game of basketball?
Well, Brian, my dad coached for a long time, and I just remember going to his practices and going to his games. I can't remember a time where I didn't love the game.
Vassell outside. The three is up. The basket's good. Off the assist from Fox. Vassell's got 5 now.
The team counts on Vassell for this, a reliable producer of three-point buckets.
Pass to O'Neal. To the wing, right side. Here's Dunn. And once again, off the mark by Phoenix.
They are really struggling to stop this run.
Well, this is a spot where you have to be able to go to your leaders. They need to step up and make a play to turn things around.
Oh, nice one-handed jam there, B.A.
Hey, little exclamation point. Now here's O'Neal. They still need this. That one goes. Now he's 1 for 2.
Hey, you leave him open, he's going to make the defense pay for that level of disrespect.
There's 53 seconds left to play in the first half of basketball. Pass to Wembanyama. Over Durant. Wembanyama, no good. Suns trail by 9. Right side O'Neal. Let's go with a three. Vassell with the rebound.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
San Antonio shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
At the line for 2.
That free throw, no good. And Greg Popovich has called timeout. I think right now he must be looking at some adjustments.
Spurs fans, no reason to gripe when we got the Spurs hype.
And the second free throw is good. Suns trail by 10. Shot clock and game clock. 1 second differential. Up top, Booker. Fires the three. Bowl, no good. And we've got a timeout called by Greg Popovich. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust.